I told the team before the game this was an opportunity for us to build a little momentum, to have back-to-back home games. Obviously, we've struggled on the road, and so it's a win, a loss, a win, a loss, a win, a loss. And so now we had 2 back-to-back home games. We won them both, and so now we feel like we have a little positive momentum, not just by winning, but by the way we're playing. This is the 2nd game in a row where I think we've done a really good job rebounding the basketball, which has been something that's hurt us all year. It hurt us at Air Force, and so the rebounding was critical. We finally had some assists at Air Force in the first half there. We had 1 assist. And then for the game, we had like 7. I think we had 15 or 16 assists tonight, which is the way I like to play, the way the team likes to play. So we're playing better. On a negative note, 16 turnovers is way too many unforced errors. But with that being said, we still had a comfortable lead for most of the game, and we played 40 minutes of zone, which we hadn't done all year. We played some zone at Air Force, and it was actually effective, but we weren't rebounding out of it. And so we got behind, and we had to go to man to try to change the rhythm of the game. Because we got the lead, we just felt so comfortable in the zone. We stayed in the 2-3 zone the entire game. And obviously when you have a lead, that slows down. It's hard to score quick against the zone. And so for them to make a comeback, they would have had almost played perfect at that point because it takes so long to get a shot against the zone. So I thought the zone defense was really important for us today.
I just asked the players this, but you don't play that much zone against anybody else, really. Does it help having played Air Force once already, having the film of the zone and being able to show them and work on it, and then play them 2 weeks later where it's still pretty fresh in their mind?
Yeah, we've been working on our zone and just some little subtle things to make sure we're good, like throw our hands up when we come up top and just to discourage some passes. And we've worked hard on it. But we also worked hard at man. I mean, we spent half our practice prepared to man them. They took 47 threes in their last game against San Jose. And so you sit there in your end zone, and they make 3 or 4 threes in a row, and then you sit there on the bench and you start squirming a little bit. But they never had, consecutive threes, and if they did, there weren't that many to get us out of the zone. Sometimes you give up the 3 and you say, well, we can't give up threes in the zone. We got to go man. So we were prepared to man, but the zone was effective, so we just stayed in it the entire game.
AG seemed to be a little bit more confident, productive on the floor. He didn't have huge numbers, but have you noticed a little bit of a change in his game?
Yeah, AG would practice really well, and he'd get in the game, and he'd be a step slow. He'd be a step hesitant. Like, should I go here? And is this what I should be doing? And that moment of hesitation, then you're late to the play. And so now he's kind of just moving out there. He's free-flowing. He had a backdoor cut for a dunk. He's pursuing the ball quick on the glass. I think it's just him getting more comfortable on the floor. We've seen that in practice, but he hasn't translated to the games. I think you're finally seeing him play at the speed of the game. And as he does that, we'll continue, and he'll continue to get better.
Does it help with Jordan? Not help, but I mean, with Jordan being out, he's going to get minutes. He knows he's going to get minutes.
Yeah, he would get those minutes anyway. Whether it was for Matt or for Jordan. I don't mind playing those guys, and so maybe it'd be a minute or 2 less, but he was still getting pretty good minutes. And as he plays better, those minutes will continue to go up.
Putting aside the stats, what is different about this team than from 18 days ago?
Well, 18 days ago, and first game at altitude, Jeremy coming off being sick, and these are all excuses. No Nolan, no Joel. Nate got in foul trouble. So every game is different. If you're healthy, not healthy. I didn't have Jordan Shackle today, and Devin didn't practice for 2.5 days. He was actually a game-time decision. He warmed up to make sure he could go with a thigh contusion. Nolan Narain was in a walking boot until tip. He warmed up and went, but couldn't go the second half. So sometimes games are just changed based on who you have available. And so Joel got some minutes today because Nolan couldn't play the second half. I threw Joel in there, and he did a good job in the middle of the zone. And so sometimes, the best ability is availability. And so if you're available, you're going to play. And so I played everybody that was available today.
Did you have a favorite moment watching the game tonight?
A favorite moment.
Anything that impressed you?
I don't know. I was just happy that the zone worked so well. That was probably like we were having success with it. We didn't have to change out of it. It's always easier as a coach when you build a lead. When you're playing with a lead. And so Devin's 3-point play at the end of the first half was huge to extend the lead to 16 at halftime instead of 13. That was a big play, to get fouled on that. Shot fake and get fouled, and that's a different lead. That's You're talking Fresno 2 games ago where they made a play and all of a sudden we're up 12 instead of 15 or 18. You know, so Devon's play at the end of the half was kind of a momentum play, so it helped us lead in the second half. You know, I like the fact that we share the ball. You know, we weren't great against their zone. They zoned us the back half of the game, but we're playing with a lead, and again, we're being more cautious. You know, we're wanting to run 20 seconds instead of quick shoot and let them come down and get a fast break. So the last 2 games where we've looked out of rhythm at the end of the game offensively, a lot of that's on me, just slowing my team down and saying we're playing with a lead. We're going to shorten the game and make them have to play a perfect game to catch us. So some of that offensive rhythm at the end was on me again instead of the team.
Could you see the zone allowing 19 first half points again?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the zone was 19 is a good number. I don't know what we scored at their place, 14. So they had 19, so we kind of got a little revenge, I guess, in that regard. But Dave, at the end of the game, told Jalen before a timeout, go tell Coach Dutcher to get into man-to-man defense. So we were laughing at that. I think they would have rather seen us in man. But they've seen a lot of zone, you know, and they're getting better against it. But like I said, we played a pretty good zone today. We didn't just play a zone. We played a good zone.
Coach, it was evident you guys want to get this win, obviously recently losing. How do you keep this defensive intensity going into games where you didn't just lose by a large margin and you're looking for revenge?
Yeah, our defense is better. Even though we lost at Fresno, it was a 4-point game, and our defense was pretty solid. You know, the rebounding cost us that game, so we've cleaned up rebounding since then and gotten better rebounding and continue to sell the fact that you win with defense and rebounding. And I told them, as long as our defense and rebounding are good, we're gonna be in every game, and eventually we'll find something that works offensively. We call a play or two, and we'll find something that gives us some rhythm, and then we'll run with that. So as long as we defend, we can find that 1 or 2 plays that'll work in that game and let us get in a rhythm. But all of a sudden, if you're down 16, 18 points because you're not defending, then you try to rush your game and you can't find a rhythm. So the better we play defensively, the better offensive rhythm we seem to be getting in.
Do you really feel like your team has turned a corner in these last 2 games, or is it, you know, you can't tell until they go on the road and do something on the road like this?
Yeah, we have to find a way to win our first conference road game. So we have to go in there, and this is a tough stretch. You know, I think, you know, we got 2 days and we're at San Jose, and then we have 2 more days and we're at New Mexico. So, you know, it's quick preps. So we'll come back from San Jose Sunday, practice Sunday, leave Monday, and play in Albuquerque on Tuesday. So this is tough. It's always easier at home. But the travel and the altitude and all those things are factors. So we have to find a way to be tough enough to play through all that. And confidence is a big part of it. I told that to Air Force today before the game, that his team's playing with swagger and confidence. And if you have that, you can beat anybody. You know, so we have to start getting some of that. And the more you win, the more you get of that, the more you start believing. So we have to continue to believe that we're getting better and that we're doing it with our defense and our rebounding.